What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight. Alright, we're coming back to Hagane. Yes, indeed. Hagane Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity boobity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from SMB, and this is actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of September for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, SMB. Hope you enjoy the show. SMB wanted to see me react to this. It is Hagane with a tune called Life Goes On. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, oh, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by DK, all right? Hope that doesn't stand for Donkey Kong. And the video has 3,800 views. Well, there you go. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Hagane, live music, Nayano Yon, 2025. I know I butchered that. Don't remind me. I'm well aware I probably butchered that. Okay, so this is I don't know if this is a full set, but this is at least part of a full live performance. I'm supposed to start at 8:17, which is right where we're at, and we're supposed to end at 14:45. Well, we know how that goes. I'll do my best, but I don't make any promises. All right, let's do this.
Alright, boy, let's do this!
ありがとうございます。鋼、こうして、新体制としてもここに、堂々と立つことができて本当に嬉しいです。次やる曲ですけど、ここまで鋼が歩んできた道、そして、人生はまだまだ続くよという思いを込めて書いた曲です。では、ナギよろしく。
それでは皆さん最後の曲です。タイムを振り回す準備いいですか？それでは行きましょう。ライフゴーズオン。皆さん今日初めて鋼を見る方もいると思います。この曲ぜひ聴いて毎日頑張っていきましょう。
Nah, good. Okay, we may have a guitar solo. Let me back up a little bit. Okay. The song itself is really nice. It's really nice. It's very pleasing to the ear. Kind of majorly oriented. I mean, there's definitely the minor feel in there without question, but it seems like, in particular, the chorus is very much geared toward that major feel, which is nice. Got that kind of uplifting, empowering feel. Not in an anthemic way, but just in a very cheerful, positive, empowering way. It feels good. It absolutely feels good. The chordal progression, pretty simple, pretty easy to follow. It's not hard to figure out, but that makes it very relatable and very easy to enjoy and be able to follow along with. So you don't need a degree in music to try and figure it out. As far as the musicianship goes, everybody across the board sounds really good. Guitar work sounds good. Bass work sounds really good. Looks like the bass player is playing through an Ampeg cabinet. I got one of those myself. Back there. It is a beast, especially if you are playing through an Ampeg head, which exactly is, oh, dear Lord, is she playing through two of them? Oh, God. That poor cabinet. That poor cabinet. If those are both SVT 300s, all tube amps, 2 transformers each, dear Lord, that poor cabinet. No, but what they're both playing sounds just fine. I'm looking forward to seeing what the guitar player is going to do what I think is a guitar solo. The drummer, I want to say something, but I don't want to look stupid. No, okay, fine. I'm going to look stupid. I don't care. That's not Juna, is it? It looks like Juna. She's acting like Juna. She's doing the whole head thing, side to side thing. She's got the pigtails. I mean, it looks like Juna. I don't know if it is, but she certainly looks like she is. She got, what gives it away too is the smile. I think it is. I'm just gonna go on record. I'm gonna say I think it's Juna, and I'm gonna look real stupid when everybody in the comment goes, DH, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know who you're talking about. That's not Juna. And I'm just waiting for the comments. I don't care. I'm gonna go on record and say I think that's Juna. And when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'm just waiting for the comments. Anyway, lead vocalist, she sounds really good. I'm not gonna lie, her pitch is not perfect. There's been a number of times where she's been a little flat. That's okay. You know, you know what that shows more than anything else? It shows that she's singing live. There's no question, because you would not have a track going for her to lip sync to and have it be intentionally flat and sharp in spots. You just wouldn't do that. So clearly she's singing live. Clearly. Okay. There is some track usage though. I hear keyboard parts. Now the funny thing is I see keyboards set up here, but no one's playing them. So I hear keyboard parts. It must be being covered by track. So that's fine. I'm actually kind of glad to see there isn't anybody up there, because it very clearly shows it is track. It's not just some person back here pretending to play, lip syncing, or in this case, keyboard syncing to a track and trying to insult the intelligence of everybody watching. So at least they're being honest about it. You got it. Listen, you may not agree with track usage or not, but at least you can say they're not trying to insult us. So I respect that. I absolutely respect that. All right, guitar solo, I think. Let's see if I'm right about that. I swear to God, it looks like Juna. Noticeably flat there. Noticeably flat. Ooh, okay. I still stand by what I said, though. I mean, look, I get it. She's flat. Okay, I absolutely get that. But again, it just goes to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that she's not lip syncing. The backing vocalists, I believe they are singing live. I believe their mics are on, and I do believe they are singing. But there are way more than just 2 voices doing the backing vocals. I'm hearing at least 8 voices. So there is some more backing track usage being done. But like I said, I don't mind track usage being utilized as long as they're not pretending, okay? And I do believe they are singing live along with the track. So no worries there. The more I watch the drummer, the more convinced I am that's Juna. I'm sorry, but I stand by that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm still convinced it's her. One thing I wanted to talk about before I push play again, I meant to talk about this on the first pause. We're 3 minutes into this. Actually, we're about 3.5 minutes into this. At the 1 minute mark, we have already covered all 5 of the criteria I look for in a live show. Their live show is on point. Absolutely on point. Let's go on the checklist. You'll see what I'm talking about. Stage presence. Yep. Check. Without question. They look like performers. They act like performers. They're doing a great job on stage. So they got the stage presence down pat. Stage energy. Check. Big check. A lot of stage energy happening on that stage. The lead vocalist is all over the place. Love seeing that. The guitar player and the bass player not moving around a whole lot, but they are moving around a little bit, especially the guitar player. Like right here, she's coming up to solo again. When she's soloing, here's her mic, and here she is in front of it. She's not staying in place. When it's time for her to solo, she comes up. When it's time for her to be on the mic, she goes back. I got no problem with that. That's movement in motion. I'll take it. Stage interaction. Yep, check. We've had a number of moments of stage interaction. Lead vocalist is interacted with the guitarist. Lead vocalist is interacted with the bass player. Lead vocalist is interacted with the drummer. So I've seen a number of instances of stage interaction, which is great. Hopefully we see more. It'll only help to sharpen the saw, but at least we've got it covered. Crowd interaction right from the get-go. The utilization of those towels, motivating the crowd to do it, getting them to sing along with her, pointing the mic to the crowd to get the sing-along going. Yeah, that's all crowd interaction. So definite check. Showmanship, yeah, check. They put on a great visual show so far. A lot of eye-catching incidents, a lot of things that look really good. So that's the main 5. That's the main 5. Production. This looks like a festival, and unless you're the headliner, it's really hard to have production. I don't think there's any production here at all. Unless you count their outfits, which I do. So, yes, they are getting a check. Yeah, costumes, outfits, that's folks, I'm sorry, but that's part of production. That's part of the plan. That's part of planning. That's part of the overall presentation. So, yeah, that's production. Absolutely. So they don't have not just all 5 checked. They have all 6 checked. And they had them all checked within the first minute. Honest to goodness. They've just been sharpening the saw at this point on a number of points. Not all of them, but on a number of points, they've just been sharpening the saw. And that's all you really have to do. So, no worries in the live show. I guarantee you the live show is going to help. I don't know what their final score is going to be yet, but whatever the score is going to be, it's going to be helped quite a bit by the live show. So, I don't think these ladies have anything to worry about. Let's get back into this. was I told to stop at 14:45? It just said, just let it run to the end. Because we're at the end and it's 14:45. Off the top of my head, I'm just going to say right now, they got nothing to worry about. We are going to be in the positives. I absolutely promise you. And when I say we're going to be in the positives, we're not going to be in the 5s or 6s. I can promise that. We're going to be at least in the 7s. 7s, yeah, there's a definite possibility. 8, yeah, there's a definite possibility. 9, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to be in the 9s. 7s and 8s, we're going to be somewhere in there. But even that is 20 possible scores. Somewhere between a 7.0 and an 8.9. We're going to be somewhere in there. Who knows where we're going to end up? I guess we'll find out. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Hagane with a live performance of Life Goes On. This was a request from SMB, and this was actually one of SMB's 3 prioritized requests for the month of September for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, SMB. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. Okay, I said we were going to be in the positives. We absolutely are. I said we were going to be somewhere in the 7s or the 8s. We absolutely are. If I'm being honest, I didn't see this score coming at first. I knew I said we were going to be somewhere in between 7 and 8, but I didn't know we were going to end up specifically on this score. So the final score is a little bit of a surprise to me. So let's get to that score and you'll see what I mean. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that overall presentation an 8.3. Yeah, 8.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.3. What does that mean? Well, an 8.3 would translate to a great skill rating because overall, believe it or not, I think this was a great presentation. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and an A- letter grade. Yeah, an A-. So there you go, an 8.3, great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Whew. Let's start with the song first. Okay, the song, okay? Is it complex? No, not really. It's a pretty simple chordal progression to follow. It really is not that difficult. The argument could be made that it's a little predictable in points, and I wouldn't disagree. Is that a bad thing? Some people think it's a bad thing. I don't. I think it leads to relatability and, an association. I think a lot of people can hear a very simple, easy to follow chordal progression and they feel good because they're able to kind of guess where it's going to go, or it reminds them of something, or it reminds maybe even of another song that they've had a good experience with, and that's going to bring back, some of those good feelings, some of those good vibes. So I never have a problem with that. I really don't, unless it's just the same 2 chords over and over and over and over and over and over again. Then I can get it, a little. I don't know if I would necessarily say predictable, but we'll say it's boring. No, but that was not the case here. There was some movement. There was some moving around within the chordal progression, which was really nice. But everything made sense. Everything lined up. Everything flowed really well together. And I really love the usage of the major in the chorus in particular. The chorus was the hook. Without question, the chorus is the hook. The usage of the major in that chorus to give it that energizing, uplifting, positive vibe to the song felt good. It felt really good. And that definitely lent itself to the hookiness of the song without question. As far as the musicianship goes, I think everybody did a fine job from a musicianship standpoint. Vocally, all right, let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Let's be objective. Let's really and truly be objective. Was she singing in key the entire time? No, she was not. There was a number of times where she was flat. And I don't mean just a little flat. I mean like 20 to 30 cents flat. She was noticeably flat in a number of places, especially in places where she would sustain a note. There was that note that she sustained right before the second pause. That, whoa, wow, was she out? Okay, let's just call a spade, okay? Having said that, 90% of the song sounded like she was singing in key. Okay, 90%. Okay, I will take that. I will absolutely take that, because I have heard vocalists where it's been flipped and it's 90% out of tune and only maybe 10% in tune if we're lucky. Oh man, those are rough. But no, I mean, if she's hitting on all cylinders 90% of the time, I really can't say I'm displeased by that. Can she work on it? I'm sure she can. You know, I'm sure she'll work on it. She's a professional. She'll work on it and she'll get better. I'm sure she will. And give it time. And I'm sure, you know, down the road, maybe we'll come back to, you know, another performance of this song in 2 or 3 years, and it'll sound even better. Okay, let's just leave it at that. But for the most part, I think she knocked it out of the park. I think she was putting more emphasis on the live performance, the visual aspect, which we're going to talk about at length in just a little bit. But overall, I think she did a fine job. I'm not worried about her whatsoever. Bass sounded really good. Bass was rock solid. I had no issue with anything the bass player was doing. Guitarist has some really nice solo work, actually. Some very intense solo work when it came to, like, I saw her doing the 2-finger tapping. That was really nice. Well, technically 3-finger, because you got the 3rd finger, you know, just holding down the fort while the other 2 are going on. Well, I couldn't help but notice when she was doing that, but she was really zoned in on it. Maybe that's because it's her favorite part. Maybe it required all of her concentration. I'm not 100% sure, but she was just focused. And I saw that. To me, her level of focus came off as intensity. I dug it. I thought that was really neat to see. The drumming. I'm going to stand by what I said earlier. I think that's Juna. I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, I'll be the first to admit it. Okay, I will. But man, the movement and the motion, the side-to-side head bobbing, the pigtails, the constant smile, the shaking of the head. I mean, that's all trademark Juna stuff. And I saw her doing that a number of times. And on top of that, her drumming was just tight. So, and I know Juna's a very talented drummer. I think it's Juna. I'm going to stick to that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Just, you know, be nice in the comments about it, okay? Don't sit there and hammer me just because I made a mistake. The overall, I thought the song was really good, if I'm being honest with you. I could see this song being a hit. I could see this song getting a lot of attention when it comes to live play. I could see a song like this being in their set as a staple, meaning that it's every time you see them, it doesn't matter where you see them, when you see them, this is guaranteed to be on the set list. I could absolutely see that. A lot of potential for what we're going to talk about next. I would give the song on its own, if I'm being honest, I would give the song about a 7.5, 7.6, somewhere in there. It's a really good song. It's a solid song. But I'm giving this an 8.3. What happened there? Well, how did we go from a 7.6 to an 8.3? Well, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you already know what I'm going to say. So say it with me, kids.
Sing it out one time.
A live show can help your score, or it can hurt your score. In this case, it helped. It helped a lot. That was a fantastic live show from a visual standpoint. We already went down the checklist, okay? We already know all 6 boxes were checked. But I've given 5 or 6 check boxes in the past, and it's only raised the score like 0.3, right? That's because they hit the boxes and that's it. That's the end of it. That's all they do. They hit the boxes and they interact with each other on stage once, they interact with the crowd once, you know, then they put on a good show, you know, once, and that's it. You know, that's the, so they got the check boxes, and that was all they did. There's a term I like to use, and I got this from the 7 Habits. It's called sharpening the saw, okay? And this is when you go back and do it again. Not because you have to, but because you want to. You want to increase your skill. You want to get better at it. You want to make sure that you maintain. Have you ever tried, okay, so you use a saw, right? To, you know, cut down trees or whatever, cut wood, cut whatever. Your saw blade is going to eventually start to go dull. Have you ever tried to, you know, cut down or cut into tree limbs with a dull saw blade? It doesn't work very well. So you have to sharpen that saw blade to keep that saw sharp, to keep it functioning at its highest potential. Same thing here. They constantly came back and resharpened the saw. Not on everything, okay? Stage energy, that saw got sharpened, absolutely. Stage interaction, no, that did not get resharpened, unfortunately. But crowd interaction, oh yeah, they were sharpening that saw quite a bit through the entire performance. Showmanship, same thing, they were constantly sharpening the saw. So, you know, out of the 4 things they could sharpen the saw on, they did 3 of them. So I was absolutely happy with that. And that's why we had a bigger increase, is because they put more effort into their live performance than just covering the bases and doing their bare minimum required. No, they did more than that. The last thing I want to talk about, the track usage. Yes, I am fully aware they use track. Absolutely. Here's the thing. They weren't using track in an insulting way, okay? And what I mean by that is, you heard keyboard, right? You heard keyboard being utilized on stage. You heard keyboard parts being played, but we didn't see a keyboard player, right? Okay, believe it or not, I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. You know why? Because they're not trying to insult our intelligence. They don't have somebody back there standing in front of the keyboard pretending to be playing it. No. There's no one there. But they have keyboard playing, that's fine. It's obviously tracked. They're not trying to fool us. They're not trying to insult our intelligence. They're not lying to us. I'm fine with it. I'm absolutely fine with it. And the next argument people are going to have is, well, the backing vocals were being done, you know, 100% by track, and the bass player and the guitar player were lip syncing. I don't think they were lip syncing. I believe those mics were live. I believe they were hot. And whenever the bassist or the guitar player got on the mic, I believe they were singing live. The number one reason I can say that is I was watching their throats when they were on the mics, and their throats would expand as if air were coming out. So I do believe that they were singing live. Were there backing track usage, or was there backing track usage in the backing vocals? Absolutely, that's undeniable. There were a number of times where the bass player and the vocalist were not on the mics at all, and we heard the backing track. We heard 8 voices, okay? I get that. I absolutely get that. And I'm not saying that there weren't backing vocals on the track. There absolutely were. It's undeniable. But they weren't being faked. You didn't have 8 people on stage with microphones in their hand pretending to do, you know, all the backing vocals. So, was there track usage? Absolutely. Was it done respectfully? Absolutely. Were they trying to insult the intelligence of the crowd or the viewers at home? Absolutely not. So I have zero issue with that whatsoever. So this is how I'm coming up with that 8.3, okay? I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.3, which is a great skill rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.